I'm Arlene Herson, and I'm glad you can join me this evening because we're here at Regine's nightclub in New York City with none other than the international jet setter Regine. This is just one of her clubs. There are others in places like Paris, Cairo, Marrakesh, and Miami. But wherever Regine is, there is excitement. She throws the best parties, knows the best people, and certainly knows how to live life to the fullest. Regine is an author, actress, singer, and now there's even a fabulous fragrance called Regine. There is also another Regine, the Regine who grew up in Europe during the war, who had to struggle to survive, and who has turned her fantasies into reality. We will meet the incredible Regine right after these messages, so please stay right there.
From the McGruff files, the case of the Tucson tip-off. In the midtown area of Tucson, Arizona, things were no doggone good. Burglaries were up, spirits were down, and folks were fed up. So they worked with police to get their neighborhood back. They organized community watch groups. In just 3 weeks, burglaries were down 30%. The people of Tucson are making a difference, and you can too. Write this down and I'll show you how you can help take a bite out of crime.
People in the National Guard and Reserve make up over 40% of our nation's combat-ready forces. It's a job that requires them to face some very big challenges. So please, don't make their biggest challenge asking you for time off to do their training.
Mr. Aldridge, you, got a minute?
Be a hero. Give your employees the freedom to protect ours.
There are people out there who need help, but don't have anyone with the right skills and knowledge to turn to for help with their taxes. You or your organization can be there for someone who needs help. Volunteer your time, and the IRS will volunteer the training to help make someone's taxes less taxing.
Some people think Social Security is just for retirement.
But if a serious illness or injury puts you out of work, Social Security can pay disability.
Even if you're years from retirement.
And it would pay your family survivor's benefits if somehow your life gets cut short.
So what benefits can you expect? Find out by calling 1-800-2345-SSA.
For your own personal earnings and benefit estimate statement. Social Security, it's not just for retirement.
It's for life.
I'm Arlene Herson, and we're back with my guest Regine right here in her nightclub, Regine's in New York City. Thank you for having us here.
It's a pleasure for me also.
Okay. Well, you know, when I mention Regine, as I mentioned in the introduction, we think of glamour, we think of sophistication, we think of parties, we think of celebrities. You even now have a perfume named after you. It seems as if you're really having a terrific time. Is it really as much fun as we think it is?
I have a terrific time walking. But you know, I am a workaholic. I like to do every time something. So there's no way for me to stop and to stay. You know, people take some holidays for 1 month. I cannot do that. So for me, it's a terrific time.
You know, it's interesting when you say a workaholic, because you like to work, obviously.
Yes, it's what I prefer.
I heard that you don't like to sleep too much because you think you might be missing something.
Yeah, but you know, that is from my child time. I was first of all, I was afraid to sleep because in this time everybody was living in anxious. And so I don't like so much to sleep, and also we was wake up by the sirens, you know, because planes, bombs and everything. And also because I really think I miss things. So it's one of the big reasons I decide to work at night.
You know, I'm a night person too. I really prefer being a night person. And I feel better at night. I just feel,
yes, I mean,
night it's really a better time. But there are some people that are morning people. But when you mentioned that when you were younger, you didn't sleep at night because you were afraid to sleep. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know, people think about Regine and that you lived this glamorous life all the time, but I don't think most people know that you grew up in Europe during the war, that during the German occupation, your father was imprisoned by the Nazis. You were living in a convent?
Yes,
How?
for 2 years.
How
And
did
after
you
that, I
survive?
was in Lyon to the sister from the Grand Rabbin. You know, I have the whole time of the world I was in the religions, half in the Catholic religions and half in my real religions with Jewish, and was for me very, very, very interesting, because you know, before, religion for me was only when somebody said something bad about Jews, my father said, "Oh, you give a punch and it's finished." You know, that was the education. So it was very interesting for me to learn really what is religion, and I must say, because it's very important, I respect every religion, and I like everybody respect my religion also, and so it's. I think that make me grow up very quick. The fact I live in this way, you know, not with parents, not with money, with a lot of difficulty. I was like an orphan, and but I think I born in a good with a good star in my not the yellow star we was in this time we was obligated to wear, but because I find in my way only wonderful people. If it's Christian, if it's Protestant, if it, you know, I have this very special contact with people, and I think I'm born with that, and that is the real story, is to have the feeling when you meet people to know that is the good people for you, and you will be good people for, because that saved my life, and give me the opportunity to meet so many people and to go my way.
You know, because you were living in a convent. You were the only Jewish girl living in a convent
Yes.
during a certain point of that time.
Oh yes, I was the only, because my father put me in this convent to be saved, and he was arrested 1 year after in Lyon. But, and all this nun from this convent was wonderful with me, really wonderful. Because for 1 year and a half, nobody was paying anything for me because my father was arrested. And everybody has to take care about me very carefully. And it was really something make me grow up very quick, because I know I was a charge of these people, because it was a place where everybody paid. It was a rich family, put children there and everything. So it's
well, you know, it's even more incredible because of having that kind of background, what you've done, because most people don't know that about you. That they see Regine's, they see the nightclub, we're here now, they see the glitter and they see the glamour, and they think that that's all you do. But you do so much more. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about really some of the incredible things that you have done, and you've done it yourself. And you've done it to perfection. And how you got to be so smart, because you left school, I understand, at 13?
yes.
So you never even finished school. And look what you're doing.
I don't start really, I don't finish also.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're speaking with Regine. We're here at Regine's in New York City. We'll be right back after these messages.
Every year, thousands of babies die from choking, suffocating, or other breathing emergencies. Just imagine how many of them could be saved if only they came with instructions. Please learn American Red Cross Infant and Child CPR. American Red Cross. We help you help others.
There was a time when people helped their neighbors, and together they built a stronger community. This spirit lives on today in NeighborWorks. a unique partnership of local residents, business, and government leaders. NeighborWorks volunteers have rebuilt over 100,000 homes, restoring pride to millions of neighbors. So help a neighbor and a nation. Join NeighborWorks, reversing decline, rebuilding pride.
Just a fraction of what we spend dining out could help pick up the tab for a good cause. A small part of what we spend on sports could help keep our community in shape. Or some of our time on the phone could help answer society's problems. Won't you get involved? By giving 5% of your income and volunteering 5 hours per week, you can really help your community. This year, make it your goal to give 5. What you get back is immeasurable.
The animals in the forest. If they could talk, what would they say? They might say, be careful with fire in the forest. Just like Smokey says, only you can prevent forest fires.
I'm Arlene Herson, and we're speaking with my very special guest, Regine, here in her nightclub in New York City. And the more I think about your background and the more I think about what you do, the more incredible it is. As a matter of fact, years ago when you married, I think, when you were a teenager, 16?
Yes, 16 years.
But your husband at that time thought you were crazy when you said you wanted to own a nightclub and you wanted to entertain the rich people and meet celebrities and royalty. I mean, at one point in your book, you mentioned that he wanted you to see a psychiatrist. Because
yes, because he was, he think I'm a I was a mythomane. He was thinking because I have this child time very, very difficult. He was thinking I'm disturbed, with that. So he was real upset, and because I said I will be a star and I will meet all the people around the world, all the most known people, and I will be known from the world. So he was absolutely afraid. He was 21, he was completely afraid about that. We laugh now when we speak about that.
Oh, you still do speak, and you had a child together years ago when you were...
Yes, I have a son
who's grown now.
Who is the owner of the French Rolling Stone.
Oh, well.
Yes.
So he's doing pretty good.
Oh, he's doing very well.
He's got a good example. But you were, way back then, you didn't have any money. You had a baby. You had a husband that was striving. How did you envision? I mean, did you really think that this fantasy would come true?
Oh yes, I have the vision of that when I was a child. I was claimed to all my friend who was in the convent. Was look at me like I was eccentric. I said I will be a star and I will know the best people in the world and. I will have nightclubs and I will sing and I will. So I said she's a little disturbed, but she's okay. I was a leader, I was doing the revolution. I was doing everything.
Wow, incredible! But there you were. I mean, obviously, you maybe you're a fortune teller in addition to everything else you do.
No, I think some people knows about yourself. Everything what I have envisioned. Normally, I do that. When I have no vision of something, I don't touch it. So it's, I think I'm a little medium, but don't come to ask me. I just, but I know when I see people, if these people will do something or not. It's a feeling. I think it's a feeling.
That's interesting. Well, obviously it's worked for you because as we mentioned earlier, you dropped out of school at 13. You really have no formal background. You worked at one point taking care of other people's children, as a waitress, even as a maid, I read someplace.
Absolutely.
So here you are, the glamorous Regine.
But I read and I learn and I hear a lot. And, but I have one talent. I know to communicate and also to keep the attention of the people, and also I read a lot. So I write a lot also. I like to write.
Okay, and I've read your book, by the way, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But as a matter of fact, in your book, because I wouldn't have known this, when you opened your first nightclub, when you like to create your first nightclub in Paris that was yours, nobody really knew about it. Yet within a month, you had people standing online because you did something I thought was extraordinary.
Yes. I put a sign of the door was full, and I invite every night, 40 or 50 of my friends. We do a lot of noisy and everything, and people come, maybe 10 people come to try to go in this place. You see, in the way, and the girl at the door, was a little Judah, and she says, "I'm sorry, it's full." People said, "But I am this one, with his name." She said, "I'm sorry." So I tell her, "You don't let anybody come in." And one day, after maybe 2 months, I come at 10:15, and it was a big line. So, because the people, for that communication is also most to most, it's a big communication. Everybody has said, you try to go in this place where you never can come. It's full every time. You can try to go at 11, at 10 o'clock. It's full every time. So, to speak, everybody was speaking around, and one day everybody come in the same time. So we said, you come early, so it's okay, you can come in. No, you cannot, you too. I was doing that like choice the people only by my feeling, And the people said, for what we cannot come? It's a private club, you cannot come. I was pushing the people, no, you cannot come in. I was very rude. And, but in a way, I expect these people will speak the day after about me. And it was like that. And after 6 months, the club was absolutely full. I tell this story when I come in New York. And what amused myself very well, very, very much, is I see every disco doing that. Still now.
Are they?
People put the sign full. It's very amusing.
But you thought of it. As a matter of fact, you were one of the first people. You can bring them in, but you have to keep them in. I mean,
yes.
it was a wonderful...
Bring people, I've said that to everybody. Bring people is not very difficult, but keep the people. Because there's a lot of infidelity, and in this time was no so much disco, and now you have a choice of many different things. But here in Regine is something you don't need to be absolutely the most rich people or the most glamorous or the most sparkling. You can be a part of that. Just to come in, to pay a cover charge, to be dressed nicely, and participate at the night. But if you come, you will be received like you are somebody known, and that makes the success. The quality of the hospitality, and the quality of the food, because we have a very good restaurant, the quality of the music, with an international music, and the quality of the service. I have run this place for 20 years, so I'm confident. And also, it's the game. Sometimes the people like to go in other places, but it's good in the same time because it goes, it's not the same welcome, it's not the same quality. And these people come back and say, we don't like this place.
Okay, they come back to Regine's.
Every time.
And we're going to come back to Regine after we take another break. We're going to take a break for a moment. We're speaking with Regine here at Regine's in New York City. We'll be right back after these messages.
It's time for You Lost Your Life with your hosts, Christ Dummies, Vince and Larry.
Hi!
Hello, and welcome to the show that proves if you don't buckle your safety belt, the loser is you.
That's right, Vince, and by not buckling up, you could end up in places you never dreamed.
Like traction!
Or the emergency room!
Plus, Larry, if you're not buckled up, you could maybe take a ride in a beauty like this. Stay tuned!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
I was going to take a job with an engineering firm in New York. I got a better offer. I'm building schools overseas with the Peace Corps. The pace is a little slower than New York, but here I'm getting grassroots experience I couldn't get anywhere else. The way I look at it, the world can wait 2 years for another 40-story smoked glass high-rise.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
Everyone makes mistakes, Matthew. Don't pay any attention to the other children.
For this bright 6-year-old, the ABCs have never been as simple as ABC. Where do you go when you're different from the other kids? He got help at a Center for Learning Disabilities. They got help from the United Way. All because the United Way got help from you. The United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
The man, and dog.
For years, this man thought if he just tried hard enough, he could teach himself to read. Where do you go when you can't do it alone? He's getting help in a literacy program for adults. They got help from the United Way. All because the United Way got help from you. The United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
I'm Arlene Herson, and we're speaking with Regine here at Regine's. And Regine, it's not fair. The time is going too fast because, you know, here we are in a nightclub. You have nightclubs all over the world, but you also do a lot more that people don't know about. You've been in several movies. You're an actress. You also sing. You've been compared to Edith Piaf. You have a concert coming up, I understand, in Paris.
Yes, I'm going back to stage and in a theater, and it's a big thing, so I'm very happy.
Would you like that now, when you talk about all the new things and all the visions you've seen for yourself? Do you see a vision for yourself as Regine now, the singer and the actress? And
you know, I'm a singer for many years. For 15 years, I've do a lot of tour and a lot of records. And the 8 last year, I have so much club and so much my business takes me more time, and I want to finish exactly what I want. So I let a little bit my songs and my presence of stage. But for me, it's very easy to go back because I have that in the blood. So it's not a big problem. So I'm recording this time, and. You know, I have a lot of gold records, and was a very good time for me. I have the best writers, and maybe I will do a show. You know, surely I'm sure you know this show is Call Me Madame.
I don't think most people here in the United States understand what a big, star actually you are in Paris, and how many people are aware of your, as you mentioned, the gold records, but also your nightclub in Paris, New Jimmy's, which is, everything's called Regine's anymore. There is no New Jimmy's, but it was the hottest spot in town.
Yes.
You introduced the twist to the world. It was really the first disco. But I have to share with you something that Leroy Neiman told me, because I saw him at a party here. And
he was making the design of that.
But he also said that you are the best dancer ever, that he has never danced with anybody more graceful than you. And he also said you have the most beautiful legs, and I can see from here that he's right.
He's right. But it's true, I met Neumann in Paris in the time of the twist. He was there for a newspaper, I don't remember what one, to make a piece about what's going on at Regine's at Jimmy's about the twist, because it was so crazy. People was dancing still 11 in the morning, and this year is the centenary of Jean Cocteau, and I have the chance to see him. And he was coming at the club, that was 1959, and he said to me, 1960, he said, the twist, it's funny ass with very sad faces. Oh. Because he said, everybody's making that, but so seriously,
Well, it used to hurt when you used to do that. You had to get in
but
shape.
the people was very serious,
That's interesting.
dancing very serious. So he was give this definition about the twist. I was laughing so much.
Do you know what's sad? What's sad is we're almost at a close, and we haven't even talked about the perfume. So first, we have to. First, I have to show, because the packaging is absolutely beautiful. The perfume itself, I have to tell you, I love. And this is supposed to actually
be a body dancing.
A body dancing, you know.
It's a dancer. I work of the. I'm a part of the work of this design, and I want a bottle which means moving, dancing. So that was the result, and I have work of the packaging also, because most of the packaging is very, very sad looking, and I want something very, very happiness. Well, that is the color I like.
I like it too. I mean, that's the way it should be for Regine.
Yes. And also the fragrance is a fragrance as women can wear very easy, because for businesswomen, go in office and deal with people we come to deal for business, go in some business meeting with men also. It's very difficult to have a fragrance which disturb the people. Necessary to have something you can smell, but don't disturb the people. It has to be discreet and classic. So I have to do this fragrance also.
And sexy.
And sexy. So it's very important.
Well, anyway, it's the perfume is wonderful. You are wonderful. Your nightclub is wonderful. I wish there was a way that I could even find you wonderful enough to make more time, but unfortunately we are out of time.
But what is important for the people we look this show is to know, as it's not difficult to come at Regine's. It's just to have the wish to come and to participate to what's going on. And it's not only VIP treatment for the star or for the very big names. Everybody has the same treatment.
Well, I have great dreams. You have the best parties, and I have never had anything but a wonderful time when I've been here. And I thank you very much for having us here to do the show. And I thank you very much, because I know it's been a busy day for you.
Very.
And I thank you. I hope that you have enjoyed meeting Regine. I know that I certainly have, and I hope you'll join me again next week. Meantime, good night. Hope to see you then.